So basically, I've put together some recordings, and I mean, there's 6 or 7 recordings. They will put an end to Gorton. So I think we should just like so the best way of using them is to basically convert them to a video presentation where people are showing the documents on the screen as I'm saying what I'm saying. But that's going to take a long time for these many, and it's also going to take a lot of time. So, but I mean, we need to eventually do that. But I think just to avoid prejudice, we filed the transcripts and the audio recordings. They're very clear, and you get the message immediately. So we filed them in the Supreme Court to apply for a stay. We also, so I know what happened with Downs more clearly now after I was going through everything. So basically, the first email that Lulu had sent on the 16th of June, that was it had a lot of attachments, and basically I was she had exhibited an email from me where I was attacking the barrister for them, Kathleen Foley, and like it was aggressive. She read that, she was really put off by that, and then after that, so it was in that fucking email that there were a lot of attachments and blah blah blah. And then with the next one that was about the bankruptcy matter, she was already so turned off against us that she stopped reading the emails. And that's why she said it's not a royal commission, that you're going after everybody. Because I had attacked the barrister there for what she was doing. Now, I mean, I was just listening to the conversation that we had where you were like, you're not gonna get anywhere by attacking her. And the point that I was trying to make is that it's gonna help one way or the other, and it did. Because what she's done, Downs, you can 100% trace back to those things, because once she said multiple emails, there's only one with multiple attachments. There's only one email with some attachments in the bankruptcy matter. 2, she said the Royal Commission thing. 3, she listed it for half a day without hearing us or without paying attention to anything, because she wanted to restrict us. So, I mean, it's that, plus it's the fact that she doesn't want to destroy Gorton, because it's not just the documents, Peter. It's the fact that once the judgment is open, she has to comment about each of those things. She has to actually rule on what Gorton did. And she has to mention that I called him all the things that I did, that we give evidence about, that I did this. She has to mention all of those things. And, basically analyze and explain and stuff, and she has to basically burn Gorton. And I think that's what's messing with her head. Because, yeah. So we come out and we attack her, and we say that, there's a beautiful line from The Practice, one of my favorite episodes from there. And, this guy, he says to the judge, he says, there's no crime in being a coward, but you just shouldn't be allowed to wear a robe. So, and what she's done is just as bad, as a con. I mean, she lied blatantly to deny the thing that cannot be fucking denied. And that's basically the thing now. Everybody sees what Gorton has done. Like, it's so fucking obvious. No one can fucking miss it. I mean, they can see it even with the information that's out there, but the stuff that we will now release, it's just fucking brutal. I mean, I know Gorton has no fucking shame, but I'm up for the challenge. We're shaming him. Anyway, the point is that we put all of this, I'm going to put this on my affidavit, and then the other thing is that, they don't want to take out a number of people because, and I mean, plus the fact that I'm not sympathetic, it's one thing to go after people because they are making people cry, but, Anyway, so we put that in the affidavit. We'll put the, I think we just need to put the truth with, all the not discrepancies, but sort of internal conflicts between people, and so they see what the thing is. But what they need to understand is that, they can't fucking stop me because I can prove the thing for what it is, and I mean, there's no legal way of stopping me. And I've devised a number of fucking techniques by now to stop them from. So now the only thing is that, like with the Gorton videos or audios, they're very good, but in some of them, like we're making plans about, like, emailing him and so on and so forth. I don't think that they are improper, like the discussions between co-litigants about how we're going to deal with it. Well, it's not even co-litigants. I mean, it's fucking people dealing with a corrupt usurper of statutory authority. But anyway, the point is that we, I'm up to you, saying what you have to about including, but I didn't see anything problematic. There's one or two recordings that are more conspicuous than others where you may want to listen to them. I don't think there's anything wrong in anything. But like the idea is to publish them on YouTube, send a thing to everybody, and I mean, basically what I explained to you, that's on recording. So, people will understand what happened exactly because I explained it very well, and it's,
Yeah, sorry, that thing I'm confused about. I thought you were talking about doing a vlog and releasing all this stuff.
Yeah, but okay, so the vlog, that's what I told you. So with the vlog, we can't release everything immediately because it takes time to, so we'll release it in, drips and drabs. So the first thing is to release the website and the introductory thing and the summary, but so we already have a lot of material that's prepared, which we can release with the vlog, but like the new audio recordings that we have there, it'll take a lot of time to.
Which these audio recordings you're referring to?
Well, it's the discussions that we had about the Gorton evidence, like all the stuff that I explained to you about how Gorton had committed fraud. So it's. I mean, I can share them with you. You can listen while you're driving, and you'll understand. But the fact is that it's clear what he's done from there, and we just need to put them in, and we can put them in Monday to the federal court, to the Supreme Court, and we've also done a transcript of the. So like the discussion that I had with the video on about downs, that for instance can be part of a log thing, but you can't publish audio recordings directly. You need to have a video thing, and just for YouTube and other platforms to accept the file. And it's not gonna be like we can put a plain picture, but I think it's gonna be better if we do the document thing. So we can start doing it, but I mean, we just do the summary, and we can publish the recordings in the meanwhile, but not as a. We can publish them as a temporary thing, and then, you know, release them more formally as part of the template that we have. But yeah. So why are you quiet about this? You're not saying.
Well, I still have this issue about discussion. I mean, some of them maybe, you know, you explaining, you know, what you see the court's done wrong. That makes sense. But you know,
So each.
They're all self-serving. You know.
No. But okay, here's the thing. It's not. So do you think I don't understand that, Peter? Like, it's not about whether. Okay. It's not about us saying good things about us. It's about all the recordings I'm talking about. They're about evidence. So we're referring to what he said in the judgment.
How many recordings are you talking about? You know, 10 hours, 20 hours? I don't know.
Okay. Don't worry about. Okay. See, try to understand what I'm saying and not get confused by.
You're saying, let me speak. I mean, it's one thing. One of the problems I reckon we have, and is that your theory is just to dump so much evidence and so much material, it just makes the whole thing unwieldy. And it does, you know, it does. So,
okay, Peter, no, that's a silly thing to say.
No, it's not a silly question.
Okay.
Any action in regards to the material they file, it's just don't dump all the material. There's a lot more, you know, it's a lot more selective. You know,
that's not true. You don't know what you're saying. I have actually studied the trials. Do you know how many documents were filed in the Ben Roberts matter?
Was I speaking? I was speaking.
I know, but you're saying that on assumptions, like.
Interrupting. Sorry, you were interrupting me.
Okay.
You were talking over. I was speaking.
I know, but I'm.
And you don't interrupt me.
Okay,
Please.
go on. Tell me what you're saying.
I'm just saying that we just put in all this material. It's not pointed enough. Simple as that.
Okay.
You go to any, they don't. You know, I'm not a complete fucking idiot. What I've been involved in is always trying to be. You don't need to put in that 60 authorities. No one's going to read. They're not going to read. You put in your best 4 or 5. You don't need to put in 60 authorities.
Okay.
That's just okay. I've said this.
Okay, so can I say some the thing in response to? Sorry?
Yeah, I said yeah.
Okay, so firstly, no matter that we were in was adversely affected by the amount of material. We've only been before Ganey and before Gorton. Gorton, you know what the situation is. There is no way the outcome could have been any different with Gorton. With Ganey, there's no way the outcome could have been any different. He understood the case very well. In fact, he put the evidence in his judgment, the essential parts. So there was no prejudice in any manner. Now, the first thing is that these cases are conspiracy cases. Okay? As I've said before, I'm building a mathematical case, and what I'm trying to do is basically corner them from every direction. And that requires all the fucking evidence, because we're asking the judges to draw inferences about things. And it's not, these are not simple cases. I've gone through conspiracy cases and I've built the evidence the way I built. I mean, you don't know what.
Sorry, I will interrupt. Don't need to go on. You're going to do it anyway, and you.
No, but you don't know the dimensions that the evidence serves. Like, for instance,
That's okay.
No.
Everything you assume you're always 100% right.
No, because I go through extreme measures to make sure that I'm right. Like with Dilara, the way we cornered, I mean, I knew where she was at what time, and there were phone logs in there, and that's how we proved the perjury and conspiracy. And I mean, trust me, the material that's in there, it's exhaustive and it helps us in a number of ways. And it's our insurance against judges who will maybe prevent us from doing things at a later stage. And by the way, just because the evidence is in there and it's voluminous doesn't mean that we can't present a submission that focuses on how the evidence is applicable to the particular application.
Okay, so what are we doing? That's really the point.
Yeah, so we have some recordings of me demonstrating how Gorton has committed a fraud, several frauds, and we will put it in, and that's it. Peter, one thing I think needs to be very clear, at least to us, is that all these fucking cheap, tactics that people have been employing, that's not fucking justice, and that's not a court process. Where you're trying to fucking.
Don't disagree with you.
No, I mean, a judge's job is to find the fucking truth. And I mean, all the cases that I read, they go through extreme lengths, and the law is that they are supposed to make every reasonable effort to find the truth. Whatever Gorton has been doing, we cannot let it affect our understanding of what right and wrong is, because he's a fucker.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I agree with all of that. I just have a different view on all the material that you put in. That's all.
Okay.
I think my view is we've got to be more pointed, but you don't believe that. That's fine.
No, what I'm saying is that you put everything in, and then you can make pointed submissions that, about the stuff that, I mean, conceptually, why would you limit yourself if there's potentially more things in there? And the most important thing, Peter, with all of this is that you're psychologically making it clear to everybody that you're a data hoarder, and that if they're thinking about fucking lying or scheming or cheating, you will, burn them at the stake, because they will get caught. And that's why no one lodges any evidence against us, because there is no evidence against us, and they don't try to cheat. They don't try to, I mean, nobody comes and they abandon their affidavits rather than they agree to be cross-examined when they know they've lied. And that's because of this, because they know that I've collected everything, and much of this in the earlier proceedings was to create that effort. I mean, with the authorities you're talking about, why did I do that? It wasn't because I needed to use 1,000 authorities, it's because I didn't go to law school, and all of these fuckers were like, this guy's without a ticket, how can he this? And no one says that anymore. And it's...
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah, that was just psychological signaling. Okay, alright, let's move on. So,
No, I haven't done that.
so with the audio recordings for Gorton, I mean, it's not going to be I don't think it's going to be hours and hours. Maybe it's definitely going to be less than 10. But
Goodness, 10 hours. What?
I'm
10 hours of saying the same.
no, it's not the same thing. It's very different things, but it's submissions. I mean, think about it. If I was making submissions in court, I would at least take 2 days in pointing out all the things that he's done wrong, like the factual stuff. Not two, maybe full days, but it's definitely a one full day's worth of things.
How much you've done, for example, which is a great bit of work. You've done the transcript bit where you've got to pull that.
Yeah, but the transcripts. Okay, someone needs to still talk and explain. The transcripts are a prop.
I understand that.
Yeah, so the recordings are the spoken submissions, basically. That I'm showing you how the transcripts work. Trust me, there's nothing superfluous about the thing. Plus, you can hear it. Just hear it. I'll share the folder with you, and they're all about pointed. It's like what I discussed with you on Thursday or Friday about the Downs thing. Friday, I think. So it's exactly like that, where I'm just showing. Now, that recording was itself an hour long after I remove all the, 1 hour, 16 minutes long, after I remove all the silence. So, like, it's 140 something minutes with the thing. I mean, it takes time if you're explaining every fucking paragraph of the thing. Do you know how many reasons he's published in there? So, if you're taking, this is not everything, but still it's a lot of things. Nothing in there is, dispensable, and everything is gold, and like you hear it and you get moved immediately. So, I think we put that in, and the other part is that, okay, so I have to get back to people shortly, so I'm gonna try and wrap up. So I was saying that I think, it's not going to be, we're going to do transcripts, we'll try to do transcripts for all of them, and we'll definitely have the transcripts before the hearing, but it's not going to be like either there's transcripts or there's not. We'll definitely have quotations from the recordings in there, so people know what the content is, and then they will definitely do it, because it would be a very serious problem if they don't consider the evidence. And this is a conspiracy case. The elements of conspiracy are met here between LSB and Gorton. This is a conventional conspiracy case, not even a constructive conspiracy case. But in conspiracy cases, the evidence is always, tens of thousands of pages, because you have to get people to draw inferences. And, people who are engaged in conspiracy don't give evidence against themselves. So you have to get it from the circumstantial evidence. In our case, there's a lot of... So... And it's not much, the recordings, by comparison, in that context, because there's no dull moment there where you would think that, this is maybe unnecessary, because they're all very pointed, and yeah. So what I plan to do is write to Gorton's chambers and basically say that, I'm going to say something mean. I'll keep it short and mean. And then we apply for the summons through the registry anyway.
Yeah, sorry, what are you writing to say? What are you going to say to Gorton?
I was going to say, dear associate, Gorton is a fraud, and here's the evidence. Something like that. But, not exactly. But... But there's no point in writing a lengthy thing to him. But what we'll say... So what we'll say is that this is what we're going to argue against him, like legally. It's fraud and conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and this is the evidence on which we will rely to argue fraud and conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and then I'll frame the constitutional notice in a way that we can alert all the attorneys general about the fact that Gorton did this, and I will. So we submitted to the Judicial Commission of Victoria. That's the first thing we do on Monday. So I'll do one on behalf of all of us, a complaint. If they need separate ones, then you maybe need to give me authority. But otherwise, I'll do one on behalf of us, and it's a pretty straightforward case now against him. And yeah, I think we applied for the. I think the registry is gonna fucking die of shock and shame immediately. At least the really corrupt people there, and so I will also quote the the ChatGPT profile, where the some very choice words were used by the software. So yeah, we put that and we put the evidence and we say that this is like the way we're going to argue this is caught in the recordings, and we will have transcripts for some of them. For others we will just quote, and then we apply to the registry. We ask for urgent orders for the stay, and most importantly, we have to file this with the federal court, because she's only given us until Monday to file the stuff, and we will rely on this obviously in support of the subpoena.